It's time for an encore of the Van Gogh watercolor set. Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. I kinda ran out of time to do anything in particular for Friday's video this week. My husband has some time off on Friday, so we'll be going to the cabin earlier than expected. So all of the time I had left kind of went into the blog, and yeah, here we are. I am just having another little play with the new Van Gogh watercolor set. I decided to try to do some sort of landscape type painting. I did go and watch a few other YouTubers play with this set and get some first impressions afterwards, and a lot of them did landscapes, particularly ones that involved water, and they were beautiful, and that's just not something I normally do in watercolors. Now, I admit, I didn't do much preparation for this. I was being very impatient with it because I am tired. And so there's some unintentional color mixing happening on the page because I was a little too eager / a little too impatient. But I do think I got the result I was looking for. I did plan to have some bigger feature trees on the islands and the mountains in the background that I abandoned near the end, but that's okay. It's just a sketch. It's just a practice painting. I am doing this in my Stilman Birn Beta Series mixed media sketchbook. Love this sketchbook. Can't wait to do a tour when it's done. But also don't ever want to be done with this sketchbook because I love it that much, and they're expensive, and the art store I got it from never seems to have it in stock anymore. If you couldn't tell, this is going to be a rambly video. I did not make a script. I am just going to ramble at you. You might end up just listening to some music near the end of it. We shall see. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jenna. I am a freelance editor / illustrator. I am also a book reviewer, and this is my little corner of YouTube. I like to do time-lapse art pieces where I do commentary and essays, or I actually talk about the piece or the products I'm using. I like to do art supply reviews. I like to do book reviews. I like to actually get on camera and do book topics, book tags. I also like to collaborate with other artists. I have a couple challenges that I do here with art, like the No Box Art Box Challenge. If any of that seems like your kind of speed, we're just here to have fun with art and books, then don't forget to hit subscribe on your way out. Everybody watching, if you could help me appease the algorithm overlord, hit the like button and leave a comment down below. That would help a lot, and I would really appreciate it. By the way, if you watched my review, my unboxing, my first impressions of this Van Gogh watercolor set, there were a couple of things I said that I want to address now. First of all, I may have implied that the 48 set is the biggest set for this particular line. That's not true. Van Gogh does currently have 72 shades. I'm not sure if you can get all 72 in a half-pan tin like this. It might only go up to 48, it might go up to 60, it might go up to 72. I'm not entirely sure. This is the largest set of half pans in a tin I was able to find on Amazon when I went to order, and it's this set I had been watching for months, so it's probably the largest set I was ever able to find on Amazon. That was the American Amazon, by the way. I'm Canadian, yes, but like I explained in the previous video, I do occasionally win Amazon gift cards with the book vlogging stuff, and it's always for the American site, and you can't cross-platform those Amazon gift cards to other regional sites. So I just save them up for art supplies, because why not? Another thing I wanted to mention is this up here in the corner of the screen is that travel size Van Gogh watercolor brush that I couldn't find before. This is the same size as the brush that came with this set, but this is the supposedly collapsible one, the one where you can take it apart and put the brush inside the handle. I got this in a Scrawler box last year. It was hilarious. So many people were talking to each other online and getting in contact with Scrawlerbox to the point where Scrawlerbox had to actually send out an email saying the brush isn't broken, it's a travel brush, open it up. because its ships collapsed down and everybody just thought that they had a handle with no brush head on it. And it's got that scraper end, so it also looks broken on that end. I found that it didn't fit together snug enough when I actually assembled it, and I kept just losing the brush end in my water jar. So I brought out the super glue, and this thing is just permanently in extended full brush form. I'm really not a fan of travel brushes that collapse that way anyway. I tend to end up ruining the bristles by, not being careful enough collapsing them. I have a much smaller one from Winsor Newton that came with the Cotman set that actually just does not fit together at all. And there's no way I can fix it, so I don't use it. I may not even have it anymore. Either way, this is also a pretty decent brush. I didn't end up using either of my Royal Talens Van Gogh brushes in this piece. I mostly used my Curry's store brand brushes, the round 4, the round 2. I may have pulled out something smaller. I had intended to use a size 0 script brush at some point because, like I said, I was going to put bigger feature trees on the island. Tell me what kind of stuff you want to see me doing with this set in the future. What kind of pieces do you really want to see? What style of work do you want to see this set doing? What are you really curious about with these? Are there particular colors in this set that you really want to see me feature in a piece? I definitely need to do more practice of actual proper landscapes that look a little more realistic and, just getting the watercolor to behave the way I wanted it to. I ended up putting a lot of white back into the sky area because things blended unintentionally and made colors that I didn't want to put there, or they got too dark and whatnot. This is not a transparent white. It's not like a titanium white at all. I think this one's just called permanent white or just plain white, but really it's a Chinese white. Chinese white is normally the name given to an opaque white in watercolors. It can be quite overpowering on the page if you use it too thickly. It can also make colors murky, make them look kind of chalky. So I tried to be conservative with it. Had a few minor heart attacks putting it into the clouds, but I was able to reel it back and fix it. I was able to get the bright blue sky at the top edge that I wanted. I tried putting some of the interference blue over top of it at the top at some point, and in person it looks really good. I'm not sure if it translates to camera or not. I was just having fun with it, just testing out the colors. That's what you're supposed to do with a new palette, right? These are super easy to pick up and re-wet. I'm not sure if the audio made it into the previous video, but I did make a point of, when I was recording, pointing out that I was spritzing it all with a spray bottle, because generally with watercolors that are dried into a pan, when you want to reconstitute them and pick them back up, you're going to want to get them wet and let them rest. So that's the easiest thing to do. Just put some water in a little misting bottle and spritz them, and then go get your other stuff ready and they'll be ready. This time I didn't, because those other YouTube videos I watched where people were playing with this set, they said like, wow, this reactivates immediately. It picks up really, really easy. And people were saying the reason they go for their Van Gogh set over their Winsor Newtons, over this, over that, is because of how easily it reactivates. So I tried it. I did not prep anything. And yes, it reactivates so easy. It goes back on the page so nice, so smooth. These are really creamy watercolors. Some people swear up and down that these are an opaque watercolor. I disagree. I would say only the Chinese white is on the opaque side. Everything else, it's transparent if you know how to use watercolors properly and make them transparent. They do dilute easily. Anything I was trying to dilute before putting it on the page here, I just picked it up with the brush, put it down on the attached mixing surface, dipped the brush once or twice in the clean water, swirled that in the swatch on the mixing palette. I didn't actually reach for my Perry bottle or my sprayer and add water that way at all. I did not super water down anything, and it was really easy to get the gradients I wanted. I played a lot with dragging a wet brush under fresh paint and making it spread that way. This does have drama to it, more drama than most student grade watercolors. There seems to be debate online whether or not the Van Gogh is student or professional grade. Royal Talens will say it's not meant to be inferior in quality to the Rembrandt line, which is definitely professional, but then some people online will point out that the description of the Van Gogh line talks about people who like to do studies, which kind of implies student. I'm not entirely sure. I do think that these paints have far more pigment in them. They're far more vibrant. They're far easier to pick up, that kind of stuff, than other student grade watercolors I've tried. They are all very lightfast. A lot of people swear by these and say these are as good as professional, if not definitely professional, and this is the highest grade full set I've ever bought. Again, asterisk, they're full, I should have said larger set. And again, this is not the full range for the Van Gogh watercolors. If you buy them in tubes, for sure, you can get 72 different colors, which is an amazing range, again, if you're considering this a student line. And that's another point where people are saying that the Rembrandt is a higher quality line because it has more paints into it, more colors, but it seems like Royal Talens is saying that these are two paints of equal quality. They're both good enough for artists of equal wants and equal talents and equal caliber. They're just made for different techniques, for different types of painting. Rembrandt is meant to be very, very traditional Western watercolors, made the way that they've been doing it for centuries. And the Van Gogh watercolors is supposed to be more experimental, more modern. They are constantly updating the colors and using new pigments. There are plenty of colors in this palette, or if I had bought this a couple of years ago, they would have been double pigment colors, and now they're only single pigment colors. That's possible because they are going for synthetic pigments. Some artists don't like that, some want the genuine, but you save a lot when you go for the synthetic pigments. You can guarantee that things are going to be lightfast. If you use synthetic, you can guarantee that they're not horribly toxic when you're going synthetic. Real cadmium, real cobalt, you don't want to actually get those on your skin and then potentially transfer them into your food, into your mouth. That's very unsafe. That's oil painter territory. I like my synthetic pigments, they're safe. Anyway, I think I have rambled enough. Tell me what you think of this. Tell me what you think of the Van Gogh set so far. Tell me if you've tried them. Drop some requests down below for other things that I can do with this set or with my other mediums. I will see you on Tuesday, hopefully with a book video. We shall see. It's been a while. If you're looking for more to watch, I've got some suggestions up on the left side of the screen now. Don't forget to like, comment, maybe even subscribe. And if you like living life creatively, whatever that means to you, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Bye, guys!